I've recut this video 3 times now, which is not, after 22 years of doing frames and tubs, not something I do. It's Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, partsbreakers.com, 303-666-9020. There were some things in the world, in our local world, in our surrounding world, that happened today that have really hit me. And I got a family, I got a company, I have to stay the course. Plus, I know that things like this are what helps a lot of us through the mundane, the horror, the just whatever it is that is out there that is bugging us. It is things like this that put us back on our baseline, as I like to call it, or in a neutral area of safety that we can work on our Jeeps and find comfort in these projects, and then reap the rewards of seeing what went from this, or maybe something that you're working on that's just absolutely disintegrating into the ground of rust, to a masterpiece at the end. So this is a nice, clean, grade A frame. It has been scoped, it has been measured. I will show you it like you were standing here in person, okay? And you will see everything on it, the good and the bad. There's not really anything bad on it. You can tell they had it hooked on a probably winch cable at some point, and they tore the pocket there. It's even, you can see where it's folded back in there. And usually what it is, it's a hook that goes in there. Matter of fact, I have a set of them here. Kevin, what's up, buddy?
I'm gonna run down to the gas station real quick.
See those hooks here?
That's okay with you?
Yeah, you're good. Thanks, buddy.
So that way I can kind of have a late one. I can get stuff done for you, okay?
Well, hopefully those doors aren't too hard.
It's okay. I figured I'd try to get those, and I can get the axles out for you too, so that way tomorrow can be a nice thing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially after today's events, man. I'm still,
It's all good.
so. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, buddy. So I don't know if I said this right, because like I said, I've cut this video, but fuel lines will be pulled, brake lines will be pulled. If you need some of that stuff, these ones, a lot of these ends aren't very good anyway. I can try to set aside a set for you. We do sell them, but we don't ship them. So the only way you can get a set of those is if you buy a frame. And the main reason, they're just too long. So the shock towers come off. They're bolted on. Again, if you need them, just let me know. And then the proportioning valve, okay? The main thing you're buying is the frame, right? And it is a true, meaning it's been measured, it's clean, it came off a non-reg Jeep, and then it's also been scoped. We always scope our frames. And we do that even though most of our frames come out of the Southwest and they're not introduced to salt, but you never know. Especially on a Jeep frame that's 40 years plus years old. So they like to rust in the rear. That's the area that we're heavily focused on. And you can see on this guy, it is nice and clean, both on the inside and the out. And even the back cross member is straight, which usually that piece is mangled. Just backing into stuff. They're not super strong. They take a beating, and people pry on them and whatnot. So this one's nice and clean. I'll pop this off. I should have had that done already. I'll take a track bar here in a second. I didn't have a hammer handy when I was washing it. So, okay, I'm gonna flip it over so I can pop that off, and I wanna show you that pocket so you see it is straight and clean and round. So see how round these are? That's what you want. Now that's the least of your problems. I mean, if that's all you're replacing a whole frame for, save your money. You don't need to do it. But if it's a combination of rust in the front, those are blown out or on their way out, and the back is gone, you'll be chasing your tail trying to fix the thing. I mean, people do it all the time. It really depends on your project. Here's the thing, folks. CJ7s, I talk a lot about this in tubs because they're so freaking hard to get. CJ7s, CJ5s, 8s, even the Wrangler series, the YJs and TJs, within the past couple years, and I would say couple meaning like 5 years, not because of COVID, this happened before COVID, it just, that accelerated even further, have gotten to be where they are worth more as a whole unit, as a running driving unit, than they are in parts. It used to be, I've been doing this November will be my 22nd year. It used to be, you know, in this, I'd say 5 to 20 year ago, that it was, you could make a lot more money as a dismantler than you can as as a wholesaler retailer of vehicles in the sense of CJs and Jeeps and just in general. That's not the case anymore. This Jeep as a whole is worth a heck of a lot more than if you add up all the parts. So I say that to you guys because that's one of the reasons you don't see many of these tubs out there and frames out there, because people are putting these things back together. And with that said, that's one of the reasons as we have this massive Jeep yard here, and we have since '84, and this yard has been moved. It used to be north of Denver. This is 7 acres. The one over there, we had 1/4 of an acre. Originally they had about 20, but they did all American truck and Jeeps Unlimited. So it was a combination. And then I bought it in 2014. I had a little yard before that. I actually started at my house. So with all that said, it's changing rapidly. We're changing our whole way of doing business, and really not in a way I like to do. I love to do parts. Parts are my passion. I love to find clean, OEM, rust-free, unmolested parts. That's what it is, right? This is an unmolested, non-modified, not some crazy winch bumper welded on or cracked frame, which is common on these, blown out rear, blown out pockets for your mounting points. You know, this is an original true frame, and that's becoming hard to get. So our shop is transforming, and we're starting to put more back on the road again, because they're just worth a lot more doing it that way. So we try to do 1 or 2 a month, which end up being 1 or 2 every 6 months, just because they take a while to do when you're running a full shop. If we could just devote one person on it, we could have one done in a few weeks. But and then we do a lot of customer work as well. So and we'll see. I mean, parts may cease to exist out of this yard in 10 years. I don't know. I like to think that's not the case, because I got probably another 20 in me before I can even retire, even remotely close. Not much of a savings just building this place up, you know, but we do have assets in the yard. So, okay. So that's the top of it. And I know I kind of yapped through it. I'm hoping that you kind of have, you know, been able to see it. There's going to be photos of it, or already is photos. And then I'm going to flip it over here so you see the bottom.